Hey guys, it's Kai again and I'm back! Woo! Yeah, for you no time passed at all, but I've been away on holiday for 3 weeks now. Well, before I talk about that though, let's just quickly go on what we're going to do in this episode. So, first of all, I really want to, rework the parking lot. It really didn't look good, and I just started to work on the main parking lot in front of the main gate, though maybe I'm going to have a second gate. But yeah, we'll have to do more about the entrance area and sometime after that. Anyways, main thing we're going to do is add the, main parts of scenery for the Jules Verne ride from the Earth to the Moon. And mainly we're going to focus on supports and the station, though honestly I'm not even quite finished with that. But, this episode is getting kind of long and I didn't want to have it be too long. I already sped up the supports and scenery part by 20 times, so didn't want to make too long of an episode then. But yeah. Next episode I'm not going to finish it up yet. I'm probably going to do that in like the bigger scenery episodes after I finish constructing all the coasters, because I'm kind of overflowing with ideas after coming back. But yeah, I got inspiration for this parking lot by one I saw on my trip, and not quite. The main inspiration was to just, cover the parking lot off with a hedge, which, I did. I might need to look at Blender tutorials or something, because I really want a big logo in front of the park, but I actually don't quite know how to actually model or anything. If any of you guys know how to convert a 2D image into a prism, I guess it's called, please let me know. Otherwise I'm just going to look it up or something. It's probably won't be that hard. Anyways, after I finished this hatch right here, I then, worked on the coaster again. Because of, it's not quite finished yet, the entrance area. I just want to move in smaller steps. And one of the first things I actually did for the coaster is I wanted to create a nice plaza in front of it. And for that I had to move the train station and just quickly wanted to add a level crossing there. I'm probably just going to add more of it later on. So, what I did right here was I tried to basically, what I'm going to later on is I really want the entrance to be kind of in the open book. You basically see the cover from the Earth to the Moon, and then you're going to enter through the book into the queue before entering the ride. And I looked around a bit where exactly I wanted it placed, and I still have to kind of look at, but I really wanted to focus more on the ride. So what I first of all wanted to do was create a pre-show for the lounge, because of course it's a big cannon, you need some smoke out of there, you need you want some speakers in there to have noise, because it's a giant cannon, of course. And then after I was finished with that, it was kind of a hassle, because of course the area was on an angle and not quite lined up with the global X, Y, and Z axis, so it was kind of annoying to get that in. But in the end I just did it like this. So yeah, after I was finished with that, I then decided to fix the coaster layout and add the supports. So this is probably a good time to kind of talk about my plans for the future of this park, and what I'm going to do with my channel, and maybe a bit of my trip too, if you have time. So first of all, what I want to have for the park. In my trip, I was on a round trip, basically going from South. What we visited was basically South Germany, Slovenia, and Croatia. And I got really inspired, and one of the first things I wanted to add was, in the South Germany, I visited a salt mine, and it actually looked kind of cool and had very openness caverns and such, and I really think it would be a cool idea for a coaster to be in a mine section, just be underground for everything. And it's also quite good on saving space, which maybe we will have to do considering how big this park is going to get, especially if I want to add a big parking lot on the other side as well. But Other than that, oh yeah, right here, I actually changed up the layout a bit because I didn't want to add the raised section of the roof because I didn't think it would look right to have like a big thing there, like a dome or whatever, and it wouldn't like look right from the inside, so I just made it flat. I just added a outer bank curve into a small overbank. I think it is actually quite neat. I wasn't too happy anyways with the big outer bank till. But yeah, I also really wanted to, well, start work on a hotel, because I also wanted to add hotels. And I have some planned. The two ones I've planned so far is, well, this one right here, which we're not going to finish, of course, or, well, even start really work on this episode, which is going to be Hotel Napoleon, which is going to be like a French hotel, like very, like very luxurious, you know. And I also really wanted to add a small ride into the main plaza, which is going to be themed to, well, balloons, of course, with France being starting point of lighted and air flight. I guess it was kind of like fitting, well, like manned kind of, you know what I mean. But yeah, after that I wanted to just work on the supports, and that's what I basically did for the main part of the episode, and then later on I started work on the station. So, let's talk about the future of the park. As I said, I really wanted to add like a salt mine, or just general mine section. And afterwards I also really have like two big ideas also with Slovenia and Croatia. First of all, for Croatia I have well, my idea is that I'm going to, well, first of all, so to explain, Nikola Tesla was born in Croatia, and like 50 kilometers away from his birthplace there is literally like a national park with some extremely beautiful waterfalls. I can't pronounce the name of it, but I'm just going to attempt it, and then you can comment about how badly I pronounce it. It's called Plitvice, I think. Well, anyways, I really think that... So what I think quite cool is this, like, basically this, like, low-tech electricity, like, Tesla kind of thing, and then also have, like, this new, basically really beautiful nature of, like, these giant, awesome-looking waterfalls. I think this could kind of work very well together, and I'm most inspired to theming by the one theme park I visited on the trip, which was, well, so, alright. The theme park I visited was called Bayern Park. Of course, it was located in Bavaria, you can take that from the name. It was a crazy place, I just felt like that, and it was very rustic. Very Bavarian too. And one of their main attractions was a drop tower by Funtime, and they call it Voltron, and this basically themed it to electricity, and basically an electric substation, but like kind of fantasized. And I thought the theming looked kind of cool, and that could be like a cool theme for a coaster, and that was kind of inspiring to me. For the coaster itself, I really want to add a multi-launch coaster, and type of multi-launch, well, first of all, it couldn't be an interim blitz coaster. I really will have a better plan for it as of now. And like for Mack, I also have another plan, which is actually what I'm going to get into later on. So I think about a Vekoma multi-launch coaster. Of course, Vekoma has done I don't actually know if they have done any other multi-launch coaster except for what was it called again? Aqualantis? That name is... I don't like that name. Yeah, I don't like that name. Well, it's a big Vekoma multi-launch Energylandia. But yeah, I think that could be kind of work really well in that section. And other than that, as for Slovenia, I'm really thinking of doing a Mack multi-launch, as I suggested before. And for that, I'm thinking... I have couple of plans right now, maybe like themed to like just the ravines and like canyons they have right there, or maybe like more of like Ljubljana with like the castle they have, maybe like a combination of the two. It doesn't have to be quite accurate. I just think it could be cool. Well, it's like a cool place for a Mack coaster to be. I would really wanted to have been like inspired by Helix at Liseberg. Helix is really an underrated ride, I kind of think. It's underrated and overrated, depending on the person, really. I really like Helix because it just has such a strong pacing. You're just starting out of the station with a drop, and then the layer just like it has like two dead sections and doing the entire ride. Though the forces in some places aren't that great, especially like the Norwegian roll, which is kind of just lacking in forces. Though I really want to add one, especially with like this Chinese coaster, I think it was called Hurricane or something, where they actually have a very strong lounge and a really cool looking top hat and such. Maybe going to have some inspiration from that too. But yeah, I kind of also want to just try to move on from Europe a bit. There are a lot of other like, well, places I just want to kind of represent in the theme park. And I kind of think Europe is taking up too much space though. What I really want to do is like a Slavic theme. Maybe, I'm not sure if we're going to do a Nordic one. And other than that, I think that's most of it done. Of course, there are like quite a bit of other things that I could do, but like for example, I haven't done like a British section, and I was thinking about like doing like a Victorian, like maybe like a house to house kind of deal, but I'm not really too happy about it, and I really want to get into other stuff too. And what I really want to start to work on is like the African section and the Asian section. And well, first of all, I'm probably going to do the African section, though I really need some more ideas for that. But I'm probably going to explain to you at a later date. But yeah, right now I'm currently starting work on this station, and as you can see, I really wanted to theme it to like a library, like a French library, because, well, first of all, the libraries always look kind of cool, and second of all, of course, Jules Verne being a writer really fits, especially with like From the Earth to the Moon being a book, and you're just basically kind of just getting like enter through the book, you're basically getting sucked into it, so I think the library would be a good start for it. I was debating like doing some other things, like maybe like this gun club that built the gun in the book, but I really wasn't too inspired by that, so I just really wanted to add like a nice library for it. But yeah, going into some of the other plans I have, what I want to do is, okay, I don't want to give away too much of it, but I want to talk about some of the coaster ideas I have. So I don't want to quite give away what it's going to be, but I really want to do like more like oddity coasters. So before I'm going to just talk about it a little bit, I want to like urge you to give me ideas. Have you heard any cool coasters? Any like odd coasters especially, or any coaster ideas, coaster concepts that you want me to build, or that you would find cool if I were to build? Just tell me. I'm sure I'm going to fit it in, or if I don't like it, I'm just going to tell you with no hard feelings whatsoever. But yeah, one of the coasters I also really want to emulate was the main coaster of Bayern Park, which was Freischütz, a MAG X-Car launch coaster. And really, I have to say, the only other extra coaster I've ridden so far is for the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. That name's so bad. Who decided that name? And I have to say that Freischütz is, well, way better of a ride. I would rate it maybe like a strong, fun 7 out of 10. And with its only main attractors being, first of all, the big one, basically, it has no airtime. It's like the main conceit of the ride. And the other conceit being that, well, it's gotten kind of rough. Though I must say, with the restraints from the Maurer restraints, they're actually quite good, and thus you don't really feel like any pain in your thighs or head, because like it's located on your belly, and it doesn't give you like a tummy ache or anything. So it's quite comfortable actually still, even if I couldn't really lap it. I rode it like I rode it 15 times a day because it was completely empty. Just essentially in all of Bavaria there was like completely storm and rain, except for the Bayern Park. Everything around it completely like storm, thunderstorm, everything, except for the Bayern Park. Like almost nobody was there. Everything was a walk-on. Okay, time for the POV. Alright, I must say I expected to have done more this episode. I expected to be mostly finished with the coaster, and while I have done most of the major scenery, I'm not quite there yet, I would say. But I definitely did a lot of work on the park. I actually had to speed up both of the main time lapses by 20 times instead of the normal 10, so make of that what you want. But yeah, if you want like a further review of like the Bayern Park, then let's tell me in the comments. I would happily do one. I just don't know if like people would really be interested in that from me. Maybe I'm just going to do it like maybe in like a later episode or whatever when there's like that space. Other than that, I'm really want to just start working on more coasters. So next episode is not going to be finishing the ride, but actually working on a new coaster. I really want to add the Bavarian, the Mine coaster. And you're going to see what I will do then. So, like always, take care, have a nice day or good night. We'll see us soon.